It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Tokman Mark Odige, and with me as usual are the ladies of Your View. Auntie Annie, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. How are you?
When you choose to look hot, you would be feeling cold.
Very funny, very funny.
How are you doing?
Because I am freezing, actually. I'm fine. We're still mourning the death of Raymond Bola Brown, who died last week. I mentioned it, but I didn't mention his name. So I thought I should mention it today. May his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
We should all please take care of our health. I think it's very important to always check your blood pressure. I don't know why I'm saying that, because it's not as if I'm doing it. So, I too.
You need to take the lesson
I
more
have to
seriously.
take the lesson, yes. And
It is
start to make it. You know, I carried my blood pressure machine all the way to Theo's on Friday. That the two of us were going to sit down and take our blood pressure. Koko didn't take it.
Wow, Auntie Annie, that's not a good statement to make on national television, but I'm happy you're calling yourself out because it's something that we should all take seriously.
I should call myself out
Yeah.
now. If I don't call myself out, who will call me out? I love Miriam's hair, by the way.
Thank you.
Very, very pretty. Very, very pretty. I was going to ask, do you people remember the old phones?
Yes, the wire telephone.
The black phones? Are you, or you're too young?
We're too young.
The one.
The black ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not use them.
You not use them. You know, say we use them.
We use phones now.
No, those black phones that you dial like this.
I didn't use that. I didn't.
We use buttons, but we
I
saw
don't
those
know,
ones.
but
Like
you didn't
go-
use that one that you do. I still remember my father's phone number, my uncle.
Wow.
41763.
The repetition of the action will make it
and
stick.
my uncle too, 44237. I'm sure the two doesn't remember his number. I remember it because I was always calling them.
Why
two
did it
numbers.
come up? Why did you remember?
Because I was talking to my brother's kids who had no idea. You know, we talked about cassettes. You know, cassettes. You know, cassettes. CDs gave way to cassettes. You know,
Yeah.
Cassettes.
cassettes gave way to CDs.
Yeah.
CDs, then DVDs.
Because they're bringing the vinyl back.
Oh yeah,
You
it's
know?
like a classic. So
Yes. So
maybe
to
they'll
get-
bring back the cassettes. I don't think so. I don't think
There's
so.
no cassette players.
No, we
I
don't.
mean, I don't
yeah.
even think I don't even see DVD players or
Yeah.
CD players
No,
anymore.
it's in the
How
past.
much more?
That's so old school right now. Why we're not going there anymore? Nima, how you
No,
doing?
you know,
Fine.
interestingly, I was just saying to my husband the other day, I said, Nigerians, we don't appreciate vintage. Some people will have
No,
these
but
things and put them in a place of honor. We will see if it's old, then it's gone, you know. I just don't get
Nothing
it.
antique in our house. Except our,
Even in
except our politicians.
you know, because
that was a low blow. He said there's nothing antique in our house except our politicians. That was very.
that's our country.
Please, Nima, how you doing?
Vintage,
I'm fine.
vintage
This
politicians.
Tatiani's story on cassette reminded me of the first time my father gave me a serious beating.
Okay, what did
What did you do?
So he had this cassette of a reflection, Islamic songs and Quran recitations that he used to teach us. And then I took it. We got this, JCV or something, this big radio. You could put it and talk over it and record. And then, because I had gone to Christian school as a child, all I put on it was choruses from our assembly. And my father just comes and plays it. And I think was saying, hearing me and my friend, hey, I cannot forget that video.
We all had memories of recording over the tape because it was so easy to do then. Mariam, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm sorry people have such good memories. I have to spoil it for you people a bit. So on my way to work, I go through, instead of the Akpongbon Bridge, right? I go down the other way. What do you call it? Adeniji? Yes. God help us in this Lagos. If you leave early before 7, you will see people lined up squatting for number 2. Like lined up.
Defecation, yeah.
Oh, it's so disgusting.
Tell me about
We're
it.
number 2 in the world now.
Yes, but please, we need to do something.
Yes,
open
we're number 2 in
defecation.
the world.
And then you see them lined up, like after this person is the next person, like they're arranged like that.
Into the
So,
water.
into, I don't know, into those manholes. I think they're manholes or whatever it is.
Gosh.
No, it's
Where? Which
terrible.
area?
Adeniji.
Once you're coming from the Aponwa Bridge, if you choose to go to
Instead of going up,
the
you
island
go
through
down.
the upper bridge, you miss it. But it's faster that way at the Adeniji, they turn into Marina.
Wow.
So I don't know.
We need to
Please,
do
maybe
better.
government needs to know that that's what's happening there. If there
And then
needs
you
to
now
be
have
like a
task force
mobile,
there.
Mero,
or a mobile.
they should know about it in the whole of Lagos. I see it every day. I'm so used
See,
to it.
A lot of these people.
I'm sure if I see
are
someone I know, I'll
homeless.
wave them.
A lot of these people are homeless.
So they need options.
Yes.
So we need like
They
mobile
need
toilets around there.
They don't even have to be mobile toilets. Make toilets. I mean,
Permanent
you're
toilet
walking on the
structure.
streets of Paris. There are toilets everywhere.
Everywhere.
Most
We
is
need
that
more
you pay a
It's
token
some,
fee and use them.
I think
So
I think
they
that's
need
a more permanent solution
Yes,
as opposed
and
to
let
saying
it
they
be
should stop
free. Let
because
it
they
be
live on
free.
the road. They need somewhere to do
Let
the
it be
do.
walking and free.
Oh well, interesting. For me, it's constant countdown. This week, we're counting down to the Game of Money conference on Saturday, which is a conference I'm hosting where we get to talk to people and teach different strategies on how to manage our money, make more money, manage our money, multiply our money. And I won't be the only one teaching. There are several speakers with tangible evidence of how they have grown and managed their own money who will be sharing their different playbooks. So registration is still on. Check my social media page on how to register. But for now, we'll take a break. When we return, we'll go into the newspapers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We're just about to start the front page review, starting with The Nation. Major headline: benefits of federal government Nigeria's first policy by experts. They say the FEC okays new policy. We must produce what we consume from our president. In other news, NNPCL team formidable, strong, says Dangote. Business mogul hails president. 75% of candidates scored below average in UTME. 516,212 gets 53.98 billion naira as students' loan, as NEL Fund ready to give out another 170.44 billion naira. Council poll: Lagos APC rallies leaders and women. PDP jazz up 57 local government LCDAs. Of course, you can't miss a picture of the President of Republic of Gabon and our very own Tony Lumelu during the conferment of the Gabonese highest national honor on Tony Lumelu. He's now a National Order of Gabonese Merit. And then another picture story of the members taking the oath of office at the inaugural meeting by the president. These are the National Assembly Civil Service Commission taking their oath of office. There's another story that will start here. Quality of work on Lagos-Calabar Highway excites House of Rep Committee. So who has what story?
Okay.
Don't you think Elumelu and the president of Gabon look like brothers?
They look like friends, though. I saw the video. They look like really good friends.
That picture, they look like brothers. Sorry, Miriam.
Yes,
the
I have
Gabonese are
the
Nigerian.
major headline. Experts last night expressed optimism about the major policy shift prioritizing Nigerian businesses, goods and services in all government-related economic activities. So the new approach that's been approved by FEC was announced yesterday. And speaking to reporters, it says this new direction places Nigeria and not foreign companies or imports as the center of our national development strategy. It seeks to foster a new business culture that is bold, confident, and unapologetically Nigerian. He quoted the president saying we must start producing what we consume and end importation of what we have. The experts say that this policy, has considerable multiplier effect on several facets of the economy, including employment creation, foreign exchange accretion, stability, general economic growth, and social stability, amongst others. I'll just read what was outlined that we approved by the council so as to give immediate effect to the policy. They said revision of procurement guidelines. The BPP has directly, urgently revised and enforced procurement rules, register of Nigerian providers, centralization of procurement officers, mandatory audits. MDAs must immediately audit all current procurement plans. Sanctions of non-compliance, breaches of new policy will attract serious sanctions. Also says that where we have viable local options, where viable local options do not exist, the policy requires that contracts must include provisions for technology transfer, local production, or skills development. Made an example of the sugar industry, where despite local capacity, Nigeria continues to import vast quantities, and so on and so forth, because of course time. So in summary, it's just they're saying there's a new policy out. Nigeria first, Nigerian products, services, whatever first. What we can produce here, we're not going to import. What we are unable to produce, we must make sure that we import the technology and all that's needed for us to be able to produce here going forward.
Very important.
Very important, and that there will be sanctions for those who do not comply.
I took the story of the Oyo State's Governor Sheyi Makinde has carried out a cabinet reshuffle. He has reassigned tasks for 5 commissioners. He sent this in a letter through his chief of staff. In the letter, the Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources is being moved to the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources. The Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources is moving to the Ministry of Public Works and Infrastructure and Transport. The Commissioner for Public Works is being moved to the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources. I wonder what's informed that, has he seen that they will work better in that space?
So the House of Reps Committee on Works and the chairperson of the House of Reps Committee on Works, Honorable Akin Alabi, visited the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway just to carry out oversight duties, and of course the host controller, Federal Controller of Works in Lagos, Mrs. Olukorede Kesha, took them on the tour. So the Honorable Member Chairman of the House Committee on Works was very impressed about the work that has been achieved. He said he's impressed about the pace and the standard of the work on the Section 1 of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, quality and the pace of the work. He was lauding it and praising it, saying that he knows that the House does not approve money easily. If it's 100 naira that is required for a project, they most likely will get it halved. And so with about 50 naira, they've been able to achieve this level of work. So he praised them and said that for whatever cost that is additional, the House will look into how to, reward them and approve the extension. Also, Mrs. Olukorede Kesha, who is the engineer, Federal Controller of Works, also stressed the need for understanding to ensure that quality is done. She thanked the committee and all of them for coming and commending the contractor as well as the ministry for the quality.
Fantastic. So we move on to the Punch. Major headline: insecurity. Reps Benue Governor clash as National Assembly resumes duty today. Lawmakers blame Aliyah for killings. State Assembly members meet over Reps' invitation. Concerns over the fact that over 1.5 million UTME candidates scored below 200. 8,000 terrorist bandits killed under Tinubu, Defense Minister says. Makinde moves 5 commissioners in fresh cabinet shakeup. Major petrol diesel price cut expected over crude slump. And revenue collection inefficiencies cost power firms 965 billion naira. The student loan news is also, I think we've taken that story already. No, we haven't. Minister meets VCs as NANS block Lagos-Ibadan highway, and federal government approves 1.8 trillion naira road project. New contracts are also coming up. I feel one major story we didn't take in the nation was the story of the most important election Nigeria could ever have, which is the local government election and the plans towards the local government election. And I need Nigeria, Lagosians, especially within Lagos, because it's happening, this is for Lagos, to pay attention to what is happening towards the local government election. This is not one election that we should not focus on. We'll take a quick break now. When we return, we'll take the stories in the punch. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur. Welcome to our hacker. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyinbo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the front pages of the paper. Right, Kate, you have a story?
My story, I took.
It was you don't have to mention it, just take it.
So I'll take the nation story now, which is the Afenifere hailing our governor Sonwolu for defending Tinubu's record. They were talking about how he defended the country and the president in because of Peter Obi's comments at the Johns Hopkins University. They were saying it was the secretary. National Organizing Secretary Chief Kole Omololu. He praised him for defending the president and the nation against opposition politicians in incendiary calumny campaign. Calumny campaign. They said that certain. Well, because I don't want to go into that. I'm just saying they hailed the governor.
All right.
So I have the major marketers, Sabi, the Independent Marketers Association of Nigeria, Petroleum Marketers. So the National Publicity Secretary of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Chinedu Ukadike, was speaking about the fall in the cost of crude oil internationally. So Nigeria's Brass River and the Kwaibu crude stood at $64 per barrel now, and nationally, we have other crude falling as low as $59 per barrel. And this, of course, has made us fall short of about $10 per barrel. We had projected in our budget at $75 per barrel. But they are looking that, yes, this would mean that price of crude and petrol will drop in Nigeria but it might not be immediately. That's according to what he
because they already have a lot of stock at the old price.
Yes, he said it might not be immediately, but eventually. For me, it's worrisome because as we know, they manufacture even petrol, even tissue paper now. So we know they green manufacture, export even anything. It's only this crude we are exporting.
No, but I told the story yesterday. The government said that they have plans that the economy will not shake even despite the
It's
drop.
okay. I will take their own on the song.
All right.
Yes, I have Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board. They say on Monday released the results of the 2025 UTME, raising concerns about mass failure as more than 1.5 million out of 1.9 million candidates whose results were released scored below 200. That is seriously concerning. So UTME is graded over 400 with each candidate assessed in 4 subjects scored over 100 marks each, right? A breakdown of the results released yesterday shows that 983,187 candidates, that's a little over 50%, scored between 160 and 199, while 197 candidates, that's a little over 24%, scored between 140 and 159. Additionally, 57,419 candidates, that's a little over 2%, scored between 120 and 139. Then in contrast, high performers were significantly fewer again this year. Only 4,756 candidates scored 320 and above. Then 7,658 candidates scored between 300 and 319. Brings the total number of candidates who scored 300 and above to 12,414 only. That's 0.63%.
I think there should be more analysis about which schools they came from, which all of those things, so that you can know what is working and what is not working, so that we can get to
I guess there'll be further schools will do theirs to break down.
Did you see the video I sent you of the parents at the
praying?
It
tells us where we are. Moving on to Daily Sun,
No,
major headline:
it's our phones.
bandits, herdsmen wreak more havoc, kill 19 in Bauchi communities, 2 in Benue, and they kidnapped 4 passengers also. UTME over 1.5 million, score less than 200. That is really, really bad. Federal government okays over 750 billion for road construction. Dangote hails Tinubu over NNPCL appointment. NIJ lecture, AI reshaping public governance architecture, says customs boss. And Uzodimma, Southeast APC leadership resolved to make party dominant in zone. And final story we'll take from the Daily Sun will be student protest, alleged mismanagement of 100 billion naira student loan. Who has that story?
So I don't have that one. I have the custom boss. He was speaking at the Nigerian Institute of Journalism, the conference, and his topic was AI in public governance. He said that the AI market is the future. He said the projected AI market in 2030 for about 7 countries, the UK, Estonia, Singapore, UAE, Nigeria, South Africa, and Kenya, stood at $16 billion. And he said that's at an annual growth rate of about 24.4%. And he says that it's now not just enhancing government operations, but it's fundamentally reshaping public governance architecture, praising it and talking about it as the way to go.
All right.
Yes, I have the students protesting. So it begins here by, they said the National Association of Nigerian Students, yesterday they blocked the Redeemed Christian Church of God camp section of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. This is a protest as a result of the alleged mismanagement of 100 billion funds allocated to Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund. So the protesting students say that they stopped all movements. They said vehicular movement stopped for over an hour. And this was to see if they could persuade, although the paper says goad President Bola Tinubu into taking decisive action concerning this alleged misappropriation. I just want to go straight to what they were being accused of. So the investigation, they're saying investigation revealed NEL Fund received 203.8 billion as of March 19, 2024, comprising of 10 billion from the Federation Allocation Account Committee, 50 billion from the EFCC, and 2 71.9 billion tranches from Tertiary and Education Trust Fund. Meanwhile, only 44.2 billion naira was disbursed to 299 institutions, benefiting 178 students. With these findings, the ICPC spokesperson confirmed that a clear case of discrepancies had been established, and the probe would now extend to institutions and individual recipients. NAND, during the protest, decried the gross misconduct and humongous corruption in the disbursement of education loans to students of tertiary institutions. So I really tried to see if there was any anything from NEL Fund, but given this in this paper there wasn't. But it says continued on their website. That's the Sun website. Okay. So we'll hear what they say. But based on this, I'm just talking based on NANS.
You know, there have been stories about the money not getting to the students, the universities taking the money. So there have been stories about it.
The money shouldn't get to the students. The money goes to the university on
behalf of the money that is meant to get it does not correspond with what they've said they have given out. This is what the conversation is about.
Moving on to Vanguard, major headline, anti-Tinubu coalition, North alone can't decide 2027 presidency. That's from Tanko Yakasai, ACF. As the Arewa Consultative Forum. That name just skipped my head for a second. Federal government bans procurement of foreign goods produced locally. Rivers setback for PDP governors as Delta pulls out of suit before Supreme Court. VDM to be released today faces multiple charges in court by Thursday. Fresh concerns mount over budget 2025 as oil prices drop further to 59 per barrel. And Dangote thanks Tinubu for revolutionary change in oil and gas sector. So,
yeah, okay. So, okay, I took the kidnappers that forced the town to contribute 10 million ransom and jollof
Edo
rice.
Delta.
Yeah, I think because there was this backlash some weeks ago over the killing of those hunters. But this, apparently, the killer herdsmen they kidnapped two of their people and they asked them to pay 5 million. So they couldn't come up with the money. So they now said, if you can't pay that 5 million, okay, now you are going to pay 10 million. And they abducted them on the 18th of April. They said, now pay 10 million, you will bring jollof, rice, you will bring 50 black bullet drinks, milk, malt, loud. Loud is drug.
Yes.
This is what the kidnappers were demanding, apart from the 10 million. Marijuana wraps, table water, rice, different school bags. They just gave them a whole list of things. So they had to take them, the money and everything in 2 bags. And they made sure, they said, if they tell the security, they will know. So people were advising them to poison the food. And they said, if we poison the food, they will first give it to our people.
Yes.
And then they will now kill even the emissaries.
Yeah, exactly. Who dared to
poison them.
Yes.
So sad. The audacity to make such demands.
They said they alerted the security. They already said there's nothing they can do for now. Okay. So they had to go like that.
And drop the money and those things.
Drop the money.
The VDM story. So
okay, please.
EFCC has said, a source, has said that the social media influencer and activist Martin Ose will be released today and charged on Thursday following all protests that happened yesterday in Abuja. So he was picked up last week at the GT Bank by the EFCC. And so this led, of course, to protests because the style for which he was picked up seemed like a kidnap, and he was, thoroughly beaten and then taken away without a warrant of arrest, no prior notice, nothing. When he was protesting something else, a fraud that had happened to his mother's account. So this led, of course, to social media as well as, a lot of advocacy against the way he was done. Even the PDP former presidential candidate was speaking. Nigerian influencers as well as musicians and, people were insisting that they would take their grievances to the National Human Rights Commission. And this has led the EFCC to decide, according to this source in the Vanguard, to release him today and charge him for multiple offenses, according to them, on Thursday. I'm wondering why now? Why didn't they, come before? Why did the charges come before? Almost like a cover up that, okay, let's just find out something, sum up some charges. Let's just, because this wahala, Nigerians, they started protesting. We didn't know it would be like this. Let's find something to cover this up. So I think, but that's the update on it.
All right. That's all we can take on Front Page Review for today. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, at number 1, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym though, you're getting fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
Pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy
has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person you see us? What is his name?
That woman.
Damn!
Yeah, today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's catch up.
And so we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. TVC Entertainment for pure entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Get ready to step into the heartbeat of your city like never before. Welcome to Events Diary, where every moment is a celebration. From the electric energy of Owambe extravaganza, to the richness of our culture, to the sophistication of corporate gatherings, Events Diary is your VIP pass to the hottest gatherings in Nigeria. And guess what? I'll be your guide, your style icon. Each week, join me as I transform from traditional chic to corporate sleek. Whether it's a birthday bash or a high-profile gala, you won't just see it. You'll feel like you're right there with me. Aww. From meetings to evening soirees, I'll be there. Or to the trendiest street festivals or to music concerts, Events Diary has something for everyone. So join me as we explore the vibrant tapestry of Nigerian scene, one event at a time.
Brand new studio, brand new set, a new face, but still your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
It's a fresh new energy, new vibe. You smell that?
Now that's the smell of tasty, tantalizing food from our various chefs.
And when it comes to sports updates with insightful analysis, the place you want to be is Wake Up Nigeria.
That's right. Every second there's a fresh occurrence, and every minute there's a story to tell. Keep abreast of happening locally and internationally via the news updates of Wake Up Nigeria.
It's live camera fashion, where we strut, slay, and sachet, and keep you updated with all the latest fashion trends.
Level up your morning.
Watch Wake Up Nigeria, where every morning begins with a spark.
Hey, my people, I greet you plenty.
My name is Nachika Okeke.
My name na Uwi Balogun.
My name is Damilola Banire.
My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen. And this na Abigail. And I dare on top your view pigeon. I'm going to bring you bass, boost.
I don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show say now my husband be this.
This na wetin you want.
After that day, the man
you no go see am again.
If
you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody. When you dey find the husband, you not see sign say the guy smart, you don't vex, don't give signs.
If they look for person we go give them to you, fact as it be.
Men no dey ever get forced. If baby not dey for her, na the woman.
Talk no dey be person, you make person no fit talk true inside. But for this country, we not say if we open court in the morning, waiting no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go tanda gidigba for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
We not even take responsibility for the children. Please the man, and that's some period.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amaka Rakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyinbo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crimes of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5.
Thanks for staying with us. Today on the show, we are going to be discussing the challenge with trafficking. So we, of course, have a guest with us who would give us more information, but we're talking about this based on the fact that 231 Nigerians were rescued from Ghana. This was a major rescue operation that happened from human traffickers. We would explore how this affects we have someone that will be talking to us from NAPTIP. There were partners from NAPTIPs and other commission like First Bank and the First Lady who made the repatriation possible. But to join the conversation and make it even more robust, we have someone on Zoom who would be sharing more details to us. Is the board chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Organization, Ghana. His name is Callistus Eloziewa. Welcome to the show. Good morning, sir.
Thank you. Good morning to you and to your listeners.
All right. We can also have you join our conversation by calling us on 020-1635-2013. The number is right on your screen, or you can tweet to us via X. The story broke, and the story was that human trafficking has taken away a lot of people from Nigeria. We've discussed this several years, but there was a joint partnership that repatriated and reunited a few Nigerians, 231 to be precise, and we'd like to hear your opinion. What was your involvement in this move to bring these people back to Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you so much. We've always been engaged before this time. We share information with the NAPTIC. Must commend NAPTIC for what they are doing silently. Whenever they have any information, they call on the embassy and also reach out to see how we can be able to rescue our citizens. This particular incident is an incident that happened sometime last year when a Nigerian was brought into this place for cybercrime. Unfortunately, they put him into what was not actually what he wanted to do. So he tried to escape and they poured acid on him. So when we got the information, I have the pictures, I will send it to you. Wow. We also did what we are supposed to do by informing the law enforcement agents. And Yoko, as an organization, they work differently from the way police work in Ghana. What they did was to lay their surveillance and started investigating that particular matter and the entire estate in general. That was when it now was done that it's not even only that particular person. The day they were going for that operation, we were only expecting to get about 64 victims. But when they finished their investigation, they found out about 21 houses within the estate.
Yeah.
We are occupied by 21 houses within the estate. And each house is about 4 to 5 bedroom houses and 3 bedroom houses. We are housing Nigerians that some of them have never seen the light since over 6 months, 7 months.
Wow.
And they have no option. So they now decided that we have to have a joint operation to be able to rescue them. So that's all about intelligence. And fortunately, that very day, they embarked on the operation. After they were rescued and brought to Yoko, they called me very early. And what I did was to contact the acting Nigerian ambassador immediately. And he asked me to come over for us to go to Yoko office to show them that Nigerians care for them. So we went there. By the grace of God, we were able to have a clear understanding that all of them be treated as victims first until investigations are done for us to separate the victims from the suspects. So that was what was actually done. So while they were there, hello, should I proceed?
Yes, please continue. We can hear you, sir.
Yeah, while they were there, we were visiting them morning and afternoon and evening, and we make sure that we kept some Nigerians there to make sure they are not treated like criminals. Fortunately for us, the embassy also assigned 2 officers from the embassy who were with us in all this exercise. Some of them were sick. Some of them, their leg was hit with iron rod, and they had a broken leg. Yes. Some of them were malnourished. They were having eye problems. So we sought medical help through the Yoko immediately to see what can be done for those ones that affected while we bring them back to Nigeria. So that was actually what happened. And there, fortunately for us, because we are having AU meeting, the Minister of Foreign Affairs for State, Bianca Ojukwu, was in town. So she visited the Yoko office with His Excellency. Then I was not around then. I was working on how we get feeding for our citizens. So when she came out, we had personal meeting at one of the hotels where they were having the program. So after that, the issue becomes, how do we repatriate them back? And that is the issue that is still holding some of our people behind here. When they are rescued, how do we repatriate them back? Unfortunately, the embassy is not having money. I must say it in a national program like this. The embassies are not properly funded for such programs. So when such cases happen, it becomes a very big problem for our embassy because it's not part of their budget. So what I did was to call on NITCOM immediately, Adike Dabiri. So when I called her, she says she will get back to me in some few minutes, that these children must not stay there, and the image of our country is at stake, that we must do everything to make sure that we move them back to Nigeria immediately. That we should try and make sure that the press does not make mess of the news against the image of our nation. So that was what actually we did. We prevented some of the Ghanaian media houses to go there by the help of the Yoko people. And she put into action immediately and called me and said that we should negotiate for the bus that will bring them back, that she will get the money anyhow it has to be gotten to make sure that those children come back. So that was what she did. So in the next 2-3 days, because it was a holiday, she said she wants to be in Nigeria, in Lagos to receive them, because they have to be fed, because we have to look at the ones that have emergency. We have to look at how to repatriate them back to their state. We have to also look at how to hand over the victims and the suspects for onward prosecution by the agency, NAPTIP. Of course, Madam Comfort has been a wonderful woman by the grace of God, that God has used to touch almost all the people who were brought back from
Sir, we would like to ask.
Yes.
We would like to ask a few questions specifically.
I don't know if I missed it, but these children and these people, how did they get there first of all? Were they trafficked from Nigeria to Ghana? Were they already living in Ghana? What were they being used for? Are they trafficked for sex? You know?
98% of them, as I can give account based on the profiling we did, or that was done by the law enforcement agencies, which I'm privileged to have the details. 98% of them were trafficked from Nigeria. And I can give little details on how they were trafficked. Some of them were told that there are mining sites in Ghana. Some of them were told there are companies in Ghana that mining sites that pays a lot of money per day. Some of them were told there are companies that are into manufacturing of different things, that what they pay in Ghana, let me give you just a little example. If you are paid 3,000 Ghana cedis in Ghana, is equivalent of about 300,000 naira a month. So if you are just a factory worker and you're promised that you'll be paid 3,000 Ghana cedis, that you are going to be given housing, that feeding will be part of it. And what you'll be doing is to work at the Galamsey site or one of those factories. It becomes so juicy that when they look at what they are doing in Nigeria, maybe where they are working, they are paying them 50,000. The moment they hear that amount of money, they are motivated to go. And these people promise them they are going to pay their transportation from Ghana, from Nigeria to Ghana. Now, even if they don't have money, they are not handicapped in terms of how to move to this destination. And the cost of also what is happening within the life of our youth, they get rich quick without minding how they get to it. So that motivating factor that has now caged our youth mindset not to be productive for what is reality, for what to help them in future, but rather they just want to make money quick. So the moment these offers are made, you find that they will be in ties with it and they will move without even knowing where they are going.
Okay,
the moment they arrive in Ghana, they will take them to the house, take their phone away from them, seize them from communication, and now enslave them, and now push them to do the internet fraud and other things they do, which we don't know about.
All right. At this point, we'll take a quick break. When we return from this short break, we'll continue with the conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
When people say,
I don't feel like cooking,
it usually means they don't have time for this. They are tired of this. Now you can make
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our...
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing the very sad story of 231 Nigerians that were rescued from human trafficking ring that they were in Ghana. And we still have with us the Mr. Callistus, who just gave us, like, he dropped the bombshell in the fact that they were promised jobs in mines, and that was how they got there. But Nima has a question for you, sir.
Sir, well done on your work you're doing over there across the West African countries particularly. But can we know, did you find out the people behind this trafficking? The case of the young man that got acid poured on him, and some of the girls, were they trafficked by Nigerians over there? Who was promising this greener pasture across away from our country there?
Thank you. Should I respond now?
Yes, please.
Yeah, these were trafficked by Nigerians. It is fellow Nigerians that are trafficked Nigerians. Not that we don't have some few Ghanaians. Just last 2 weeks, a week or 2 weeks ago, we have a judgment in favor of a Nigerian victim that was trafficked by Ghanaians. And the Ghanaian authority jailed the young man 10 years. So the reason for making this clarity is for us to appreciate that Ghanaians can traffic Nigerians and Nigerians can traffic Ghanaians. But in this case, particular case in question of 231, we are talking about 231 Nigerians that were trafficked by Nigerians. They were all trafficked by Nigerians.
Wow.
Because they are host.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, have you been able to identify the Nigerians that are trafficking the
other Nigerians?
The other Nigerians.
The victims from the suspects.
Or the victims, yeah. Because if we don't, we need to make that investigation and catch the people, because even if you rescue these ones, they will still take more if they are not stopped now.
Yeah, we've been doing that. As I speak to you, last week again, we have 2 Nigerians that were convicted. One is from Enugu State, one is from Benue State. They were jailed for 9 years. I'll give you all details after the program. That was just last week.
Jailed in Ghana
3 weeks ago, we had another Nigerian that was convicted. She was jailed for 5 years. We've been having, yesterday we were in court again against 3 other Nigerian traffickers. And I believe justice will be done on those cases. We can't speak on it because they are still in court. We have other cases. Since last year to this year, we've got about almost 11 people convicted, 11 to 12 people convicted. Out of the 12, 11 are Nigerians, and 1 is a Ghanaian. We still have ongoing cases in court in different enforcement agencies, the immigration, the EOCO, which is Yoko, as it's called, the DNI, the National Security, for most of them, the Police Human Trafficking Section of different departments in different regions. We also have cases ongoing that is prosecuting the suspects. And I believe by doing that, we'll be able to reduce it. But let me make something very clear. In human trafficking, there are 2 key P's that are more important than other keys. we are looking at the first key, which is prevention. Whatever you do in enforcement without prevention, you continue to have the cases coming on daily basis. The reason is very simple. Because these victims you're calling victims today will end up being traffickers tomorrow. So what do they do? When they bring these girls in, they give them certain amount of money to pay. So if we are not able to rescue them at the point of entry, what that means, they're going to stop their madam for 3, 4, 5 months, depending on the kind of place they kept them, and they give them targets on what they are supposed to pay. Some pay 3 million naira equivalent. Some pay 4 million naira equivalent. Some pay 1.5 million equivalent. When they finish paying that money, that act becomes part of them. Then to leave it becomes a problem. Then they will now find a way to work for themselves. Whilst working for themselves, the moment they raise any little money, they want to bring people also to come and work for them so that they become richer.
Oh, madam.
So that is what is a kind of a second thing.
Thank you.
So the people you call suspect today were victims some few months ago.
Thank you so much. We'll take another break now. When we return, we'll continue with the conversation and probably we'll be able to bring in even the chairman of NIDCOM. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Today, we have the regulars.
So let me go and for my jam.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam.
I want to close the show. I can go. I can. That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, G Fadala.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say a recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked. No,
it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person that used to spoil his name?
That woman.
Damn!
Yeah,
today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment for pure entertainment. Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Get ready to step into the heartbeat of your city like never before. Welcome to Events Diary, where every moment is a celebration. From the electric energy of Owambe extravaganza, to the richness of our culture, to the sophistication of corporate gatherings, Events Diary is your VIP pass to the hottest gatherings in Nigeria. And guess what? I'll be your guide, your style icon. Each week, join me as I transform from traditional chic to corporate sleek. Whether it's a birthday bash or a high-profile gala, you won't just see it. You'll feel like you're right there with me. Aww. From meetings to evening soirees, I'll be there. Or to the trendiest street festivals or to music concerts, Events Diary has something for everyone. So join me as we explore the vibrant tapestry of Nigerian scene, one event at a time. Brand new studio, brand new set, a new face, but still your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
It's a fresh new energy, new vibe. You smell that?
Now that's the smell of tasty, tantalizing food from our various chefs.
And when it comes to sports updates with insightful analysis, the place you want to be.
You've always been very responsive, and we have a live testimonial right now of how responsive you are and how resourceful you are. But we would like to ask you a question on when you heard this story, what was your first reaction, and how did you overcome the challenge of getting funding for bringing these Nigerians back home?
Thank you very much, and good morning, ladies and you.
Good morning.
Nice to talk to all of you again. Well, this is the first time we're having 231, actually. They've been coming in batches. I would thank Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who actually made a bus available. So when we get this first call from Chairman Naidu Ghana, you know, and I want to thank Nigerians in Ghana under his leadership, because that's what we say. We all can do these things. We don't have to wait on just government. So when we get the call, we bring them back, and then we hand them over to NAPTIP. So, and in the last, within this year alone, since the First Lady made a bus available, we've brought back almost about 160, nothing less than that, in batches, 20 today, 30 tomorrow, 15 tomorrow, working with the High Commission, Ghana authorities, and Chief Caliph. So, but this is the largest, 231. So for me, it was like, oh my God, I don't know the message. And I was just in my car, and it's like, there's no we keep 261. They've been rescued. If we keep them there, it's going to be an embarrassment. Somehow we're able to get the funds, and I thank Weather Bank, as I said, the First Lady, we're able to give them how many buses, almost about 12 buses, and we're able to receive them, give them food, water, and some stipend for them to, you know, at least have and go back to their various homes. Now, here's the thing, and the sad news is that it's going to continue to happen. If the traffickers are not named, shamed, look, let's see them on television because you see drug dealers and other criminals. If you don't name and shame, there's going to continue to happen. Somebody is making money. Now, the four that we see before this 231, it's like I said, they come in all the time. They came in, got to Lagos at about 10 p.m. So we had to go pick them up, take them to a hotel, keep them there, and the next morning, you know, bought clothes for them, you know, fed them, and then give them transportation money to go back home. All of them, there's a relative that is involved. So all of them was an auntie or an uncle that told them, look, you're going to get a job, and then they gave them prostitution for the boys, yahoo, yahoo. So I think the traffickers, really, you need to see them. Shame them. NAPTIP is doing that. They've arrested quite a number. I think they said about 7,000 in the last few years. But let's see the faces of these criminals. They are evil. And again, what information I'll share again is that those who came from the 231, actually 27 suspects. So they've been handed over to NAPTIP, who has not handed them over to EFCC and other security agencies. So they will be prosecuted. The 27 came, they were separated, but immediately they were taken away and handed over. And some more have also been arrested in Ghana.
Well, can I? Okay, go on.
Yeah. Now, I would like to know how are they able to institute themselves in another country? Because they've built like a whole community, and this looks like it has been going on for so long. In your investigation, how did the Ghanaian authorities miss this, or you know, how have they been able to evade the authorities?
Well, you see, like I said, I can't go deeply into that because really they are just helping, collaborating with NAPTIP. So the issue of arresting, how they're able to get NAPTIP will answer this question. Ours is being in another country, there's a distress, what can we do to help? So really I don't, but I think Chief Caliph and those in Ghana and the security agencies can know more about that. So that's why I said for my own interaction with them and what I've seen, and also talking to NAPTIP, it's more about traffickers. How do they even leave Nigeria? So it's an ECOWAS problem. Look, this is just Ghana 231. There are people stuck in Mali, Cote d'Ivoire. There are still figures there. They come, look, from Cote d'Ivoire alone, the Nigerian mission has brought back in this last 1 year almost about 200. They bring them in batches, 4 today, 16 tomorrow, 20 tomorrow. You know, and again, Cote d'Ivoire arrest. When they pick them up, there's an NGO that they also use in Ghana. They keep them there. You see, you have to profile them first. For instance, you want to know, you know, well, how did you get here? Where's your family and all that? Out of this who came 231, 12 of them were below 17 years old. And 7 of them were twins. So ask them, if your parents know you've been missing for how many years? They mentioned an uncle or an auntie that told their parents they are going to work. You know, and if today, let me tell you something very sad. Just yesterday, somebody in the security forces sent me an SOS that his daughter went to Libya and is now been arrested. I said, listen, you are not even a small person in the security agency here in Nigeria. You are telling me that your daughter went to Libya, with all the noise we've been making, and they said he didn't know. They just getting to know now, asking us to save his daughter from Libya. So from Libya, we brought back over 10,000. Under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, from January to, as I speak to you, over 5,000. Under Buhari, we did almost 10,000. So the question is maybe massive awareness, massive greed. Look, it's not about employment. Somebody is making money out of these children. Those children, when they came, said to me, they don't even get the money. They pay the trafficker. They don't even get the money. So it's the evil... Whatever the traffickers, and then more awareness. Like, when they tell you you're going into the scary stories, it does not stop.
But ma, how many of these people are really victims? Because I've seen some people who think this is the way to go. I will pay the price and then make it later. People who voluntarily try to go to Cote d'Ivoire, for instance.
Yeah, correct. Some just, and then, you know, they pay to go.
Yes,
for the small children, you see, like I always say,
60 million.
When it sends to me, I always ask about age. I'm more interested in those below a certain age. If you are 28 and somebody says you're going to work and you say you don't know, then they pay for it. None of those trips cost less than $1 million naira. Sometimes $2 million naira. So if you have that kind of money, and somebody says you should go to Ghana or Ivory Coast, get another frightening one, Iraq. We have about 5,000 who are now saying they're stranded in Iraq because they say you're going there to work. There's a lady, a very sad case. Her husband got in touch. His wife went to work as a carer in Iraq. We brought her body back. And the poor man was he didn't know what next to do. How do you bring a corpse back from Iraq? And they paid because somebody promised them that, look, when you go to Iraq, come and see work. You buy a house, you do this. Nigeria is rubbish. And then you come back with a body bag. So it's really a very, for me, seeing them all the time, when I interact with them, it's really very pathetic and wicked of some family members as well as the traffickers. The traffickers live amongst us.
I've heard that some of the people that come back, they still try and go back again.
Yes.
When you bring them back, they still try and go back again. Are there any success stories of those who have left, who are able to send money back to their families, that will make you go through that suffering and then still go back again when you are rescued?
Oh, yes. You know, I remember the Libya case, which was one of the most traumatizing. You know, we went inside Libya detention center.
Yes.
The then president set up inside. So Max brought them back in batches and everybody came back. It was the first time that came, they all go. So I said to them, I give them a number, call this number. Let's see whatever we can do to help you. One of them said, I'm going back. He made it clear that I don't get time for this. I did go back. Okay. Second one says, just needed money. One of them said, I just want to learn how to bake. And you can reach the girl. She's in Benin. Her name is Gift. She said, I want to learn how to bake. We took her to a school in Benin, led by Zedebosa. She spent 3 to 6 months learning how to bake, learning how to cook. That girl is one of the biggest caterers in Benin today. In fact, she just called me last week. She's getting married. So there are stories like there's a mother of triplets that we brought back. She's doing well in her business today. For that time, ND helped some of them in their business. So there are cases like that. But you see, look at the girl who said, I want to go back. Yeah, she probably went back. And then, when you tell them that, this is dangerous, you may not survive. They'll say one person will survive, and that one person will be me now. So there's hope, So, but what I keep saying is that what you succeeded with 10, 20 years ago. Not anymore. The world is a very tough place. And I keep saying that even the Nigeria you're running away from is better than where you're going to. If you these 231 survived, they are alive. Many are dead, particularly in Libya. You can't even get, they're just gone. So the survivors, and then we want to thank International Organization for Migration, who helps to bring them back. In Libya, they still bring back maybe 100 today, 200 next month, but they are tired. They're also getting tired of doing that for us.
We need to do better. We really need to do better. Thank you so much for your insights, Ma. We'll take a quick break now. We'll continue with the conversation and sort of wrap up. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Brand new studio, brand new set, a new face, but still your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
It's a fresh new energy, new vibe. You smell that?
Now that's the smell of tasty, tantalizing food from our various chefs.
And when it comes to sports updates with insightful analysis, the place you want to be is Wake Up Nigeria.
That's right. Every second there's a fresh occurrence, and every minute there's a story to tell. Keep abreast of happening locally and internationally via the news updates of Wake Up Nigeria.
It's live camera fashion, where we cut, slay, and sachet, and keep you updated with all the latest fashion trends.
Level up your morning.
Watch Wake Up Nigeria, where every morning begins with a spark.
Hey, my people, I greet you plenty.
My name is Nachika Okeke.
My name na Uwi Balogun.
My name na Damilola Banire.
My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen. And this na Abigail. And I dare on top of your view pigeon. I'm going to bring you bass, boost.
I don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show say now my husband be this.
This na wetin you want.
After that day, the man
no go see am again. If you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody. When you dey find the husband, you not see sign say the guy smart, you don't vex, don't give signs.
If they look for person, we will give them to you. Fact as it be.
Men no they ever get forced. If baby not there for her,
na
the woman.
Talk no dey be person, you make person no fit talk true inside. But for this country, we not say if we open court in the morning, waiting no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go tanda gidigba for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
We not even take responsibility for the children. Leave the man.
And that's some poria.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We've been discussing the human trafficking challenge that Nigeria is grappling with, the idea that many young Nigerians would do anything to leave Nigeria, and sometimes those things mean that they find themselves being trafficked, being sex slaved, being, like they said, they brought in somebody with a broken leg. Probably they beat the person to a broken leg, malnourished, and then they are asking for help to get back into the country. And we've said it several times, we'll continue to say it. We still have with us Honorable Abikadabiri Erewa, as well as Mr. Callistus from Nido in Ghana, that are shedding light on how they've been able to successfully bring back 231 Nigerians Yeah, so Mr. Callistus.
Are there still more there that you know about?
Exactly. Mr. Callistus, can you hear us?
Yeah, this 231 you're talking about is just one that we did, just one estate. The 231 people were from only one single estate.
Wow.
Before the 231, we already brought over 300 and something Nigerian girls. So when we are looking at the numbers, because this number is huge, that was why it became a public thing. Otherwise, virtually every week we bring people back through the assistance of us in Ghana and NITCOM and also NAPTIC. You see, let me mention something that our government should look into as part of their policy once they make their policy. We here, there's an extent we can do as individuals. I provided my building as a shelter for these children. When they are rescued, I keep them and I feed them with my own personal money and transport them back to Nigeria. Then, before, by the grace of God, NITCOM, all the people were brought back to Nigeria. When they get to Nigeria, they need to go back to their destination. It's a BKWA and NITCOM that have been doing all this for over 300 and something Nigerians. Because it's not made public, nobody knows about it. And people can sit and say whatever they want to say.
I have a question for you,
because I have a fact to prove in terms of the profiled people, because every single person we brought back from Ghana, we make sure they are profiled. So I'm giving you figures that you can verify.
I have a question for you, sir. Would you say that this is made possible because of our porous borders? Do you think it is something that immigration can work to curb? Because I don't think that it is a sustainable venture to keep funding, repatriating. I think it might make sense to stop people from leaving Nigeria through all these means in the first place. So who would you think can support and reduce the human trafficking challenges that we're currently facing, especially those going through the borders to West African areas?
Yeah, let me answer that. Yes. Remember, we under the ECOWAS protocol. Whilst we are talking about the traffickers, we should also be thinking about Nigerians who are coming to Ghana genuinely. Because one thing with crime, they only give people opportunity to do some certain things. They use it as an advantage against our people. Irrespective that we are fighting against crime, we are also looking at the interests of genuine Nigerians who come into Ghana to do genuine business. So because of the ECOWAS treaty, you see, we have the movement of people from one place to the other. Ordinary ID card can bring you to Ghana. And why? Because I had one question was thrown to our chairperson about what Ghanaian authorities are doing. I will not sit here and keep quiet when I hear that immigration officer is intimidating any Nigerian. We make news out of it. I will not sit quiet as a leader here and see a Nigerian that is being molested because of documentation. Because at least we have a gateway of 3 months to stay in Ghana, do whatever he wants to do, and go back. So that our right cannot be taken away from our people because we have criminals among us. Now, that takes care of the issue of how we come into Ghana and what Ghanaian authority does. It is now when they get into Ghana, remember these people I mentioned that where they are, they're excluded from contact with human beings. Locked up in a house. So how do we not get in touch with them? But let me add one thing to it. Yes, I agree that we have a lot to do at my tool. I want to give you people where to work. My tool. 90% of the drivers in my tool are traffickers.
Yes, that's where the West Africans, West Africans,
Let me, let the government put eyes on them we'll reduce this to 50% within 1 month.
Wow.
Excuse me, I'm very happy you said that, because from mile 2 to the border, there are more than 50 checkpoints, if not 100.
Exactly.
What are those ones doing when they are trafficking? Why are they not? They stop innocent people like me when we are passing. Where come down, where is your passport? What are they doing? That means they too are complicit.
If you are looking at it,
If we are going to look at the drivers, the officials are complicit.
Why do I call them traffickers? I call them traffickers because when you know a fare from Ghana to Nigeria it will cost you about 100,000. Why would you charge somebody 200,000 or 300,000?
Because you know you want to smuggle them.
Crime. Because you know there are people you are going to bribe. So from the departure point, you have already made available funds to entice people on the road, pay our immigration officers, pay our police, pay all your way to Ghana. And they've passed through the illegal route. Now, you have another point which I want us to look at, the ferry point at my two.
Ferry point.
Because there are two, that is the waterway. Most of our girls will tell me that they will be there, police will come and stop the traffickers. And when they stop them, they will schedule them, they will collect money and leave them to proceed.
Exactly.
How can a law enforcement agency keep a blind eye when you see a 14-year, 16-year-old girl traveling out of the country without accompanied by the parents?
No passport.
And you will ask that person the destination. And you will ask him, let me have the number of the person. Let me confirm before you move. And let me tell you one thing. The moment they release the number of the person they're going to, the moment the police call them, they will never pick calls again. So that would be a point of what? Risking these girls. If the immigration officers, if the law enforcement agencies can look at these children and say, it can be my own child. I will not take money to destroy the life of my own child. See those people as their own child, we can reduce this drastically within some few months. Because if there is nobody that is trafficked, there will not be any human being to be rescued. Secondly, when I talk about the issue of enforcement, how many shelters has the government built for NAPTIC? Sometimes we bring 20, 30, 40 people. I have to call Madam Comfort. They have to start making arrangements on where to keep these children when they come back. Do we make provision for her to feed them? Do we make provision for the prosecution? Do we make provision for the health of these children? Do we make provision for integrating them back to their families? We can't be talking on the news without doing anything. The law enforcement agencies are there, but nobody is empowering them to do the work. And NISCOM is there. What budget has been made, particularly for human trafficking, to NISCOM? How much has been released to them? We're expecting them to work. What are they going to work with? What are they going to work with? These are the genuine questions we have to ask ourselves as nations. Then when we're able to answer these questions, then if the people who are given this responsibility are not able to perform, then we hold them responsible.
Thank you.
For human trafficking, for you to prosecute a suspect, you need to keep the victim. And that victim can say up to 3 more, 4 months. Who will feed them? The ones we are doing in Ghana here, some of them have stayed with me for 6 months before we got to the judgment. The government asked me, how are they being fed? Has anybody donated money to me? And will I keep quiet? Because the first thing to do is what you think you can do for your nation. And that is what we are just doing.
Thank you so much, sir.
We want to get that encouragement from our nation back.
Honestly, thank you. Thank you so much. We've been speaking to the board chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Organization, Ghana, Mr. Callistus Eloziwa. Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you for all that you've done in supporting this 231 Nigerians back to Nigeria. Of course, we also had the Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, who joined the conversation as well, lending our own voice to the challenge of human trafficking, which is a big deal. We also must appreciate NAPTIP and Wema Bank for the support, as well as the First Lady. we cannot exhaust this conversation. It will come up again, sadly. Another day will come, they will bring back some people in another time, and then we'll discuss it and say, shouldn't they know better?
Yeah. From that mile too, where the corruption is just
right. Yeah, that's how they get out.
Those cars with them,
from the shape of the car, you will know they are not normal.
The last time I went to Togo, I think was it Benin, the car was there. The customs were right beside the car. Their checkpoint was just there, and the car is there, getting ready to load, and you are going to watch it go. So,
let me wait.
They have to. The minister that has to deal with it has to be a minister that will build house there.
Minister for Interior.
And be watching them.
And can they come in disguise at 5:30, 4:30? Just drive down Badagry Expressway from the border all the way into past Mile 2. I used to escort them in convoys. I'm talking of convoys of 20. In the morning, if I leave home early to drop my husband, then to catch the train or bus at 5, I will escort them all the way to K2. We lose touch at Anthony. Convoys of the same kind of Toyota cars, trafficking something.
So we are all involved.
And they pay the agberos to pay the police officers. Sometimes the task force people who are on top of the bridge stop these cars on top of the Matuoke.
So what
it's not a secret.
There are many, like yesterday, there are many layers to the problem. There is the part of the law enforcement who are meant to do their jobs and not collect the money and look the other way at the detriment of Nigerians who get to be trafficked. There's a part of Nigeria, shine your eye. I know Nigeria is tough for many people, but please, it is horrible on that side, and you have no idea what you are going to. This is human slavery.
Yeah, it bothers me.
Your final words.
Yes, it bothers me every time we hear that people still want to go back.
They want to.
What is it about the suffering, about the dehumanization that wants them, that is drawing them to go back there? How bad is it here that when you go there, we've heard things of being raped, being tortured, all sorts of things, and yet they bring you back and you want to go back to that place. What is it?
Go back to the top. Why I will go back to the top is the new chief judge, Kekere, she just did something. She sacked
some judges
or suspended some judges because I am sure they are corrupt. So she has stepped up. Before she went into that position, she must have known they were corrupt now. So she has now used her position to now remove them. If the top does not start
removing people,
if you don't remove people, then it's not going to change. If you take a taxi to the border, you say you don't want to go in your car, they are collecting money.
You pay.
Every single taxi that is passing, every single checkpoint, there is a certain amount that they are going to pay. Whether you have passport, you don't have passport, you are going to pay. So it's if they the work they have to do there, not too small.
The Lord is our strength. That's what we'll do. Nigerians, we know how to pray when things confuse us. But once again, we'll like to appreciate all of those who helped, and we'll ask Nigerians, please stay in Nigeria. Let's make here work. The grass is not necessarily greener on the other side. The grass is only green where they are watering it. Water your grass where you are. Let's avoid this money we are spending bringing people back home. That's what we can take on this segment of the show. We'll take a break now. When we return, we continue with the conversation and another topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be...
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers.
Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government that will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyinbo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call permanent solutions.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crimes of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe is achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless.
I'm
Adedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. The Nigerian economy's agenda for 2030 is centered around achieving a $1 trillion economy with focus on sustainable development and inclusive growth. The federal government has launched an initiative to establish an operating model and framework for economic and financial inclusion to transform the nation into a $1 trillion economy by 2030. Joining us to join the conversation to talk about how tourism can contribute significantly to this target is Dr. Bright Winner, a serial entrepreneur, a global tourism pioneer. Welcome to the show. Are you there? Awesome.
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you so
Fantastic.
much.
You can join the conversation by calling us on 09024163440. And you can also tweet to us or comment on YouTube. We'd love to hear from you to join the conversation. So, discussing tourism, before we went live, I was telling Auntie Yenny that YK has been in, she embodies tourism because this is what they do with Celebration, which is coming up very soon. And it's part of the drive towards tourism. But the first question will be that...
it's not just Celebration, even at the shrine.
Even at the shrine on a regular every day.
Foreigners that come on a regular. A lot.
You know, so we're talking about how to boost the Nigerian economy, moving Nigeria to a $1 trillion economy. And what role do you believe tourism would play in achieving that goal? And are we on the right path towards achieving that goal with the way we are handling tourism right now?
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm so excited to be here. And am I live? Am I supposed to?
Oh, you are live. Oh.
Okay.
We are seeing you
thank you so
live.
Much. Okay. Thank you so much. So thank you, Tokpe. Thank you, Neema. Thank you, Miriam. And thank you, Yenny. I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
Perfectly.
No, my name is Yenny.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be on your show today. And first of all, everywhere I go for interviews, I want to first start by giving all the glory to God for giving me this opportunity to be on your show, your view. I don't take this for granted. I really, really appreciate this. And also, I want to just commend our president, His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his Vice President, Kashim Shettima, for their laudable program, the Renewed Hope program to make Nigeria a $1 trillion GDP by 2030. I'm so excited about this, and I'm just pumped up because I believe very strongly that one major way Nigeria can achieve this goal is through global tourism, not just domestic tourism, global tourism. Most of the tourism we have in Nigeria today is what I call domestic tourism. That is people moving from one part of the country, from the north to the south, or south to the south, or east to the west. But if we are going to develop Nigeria, if we are going to move away from oil and gas and diversify our economy to non-oil and gas sectors, it has to be through global tourism, which is attracting foreign guests into Nigeria.
How do you plan to do that?
Well, how do we plan to do that? The first thing, we have to have a mind shift. Nigerians have to believe in Nigeria. I just heard your conversation talking about many young ladies going to Ghana and other countries because they want a better life for themselves and for their families. So the first thing we have to do is we have to have a mind shift. We have to believe in our Nigeria. Nigeria is a product, and we cannot sell Nigeria to attract foreign visitors if we don't believe in Nigeria. So the first step to achieving this diversification and global tourism is for Nigerians to believe in their country, because you can't sell me a product you don't believe in. You can't convince me to buy a product you yourself don't believe in. So for us Nigerians to attract foreign guests into Nigeria, we first of all have to believe in Nigeria. I know I hear so many people pulling down the country. Every initiative the government has, we tear it down. We criticize everybody. That is not how to attract global tourism. So the first step is we have to believe in Nigeria. We have to begin to, before you can sell Nigeria to the world, to Europeans, to Americans, to Asians, you have to first of all believe in Nigeria. And that's the first step to attracting global tourists into Nigeria.
All right,
okay. So beyond that, after, you know, while the mind shift is going on, what other things are important to attract global tourists into a country like Nigeria? A country where you hear stories of insecurity, banditry, sometimes terrorism, you know, in 2025. How do you sell such a country to global tourists?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, Egypt attracts about 14 million guests every year into Egypt. Morocco attracts about 14 million every year into their country. Mexico attracts about 42 million into their country. Are you telling me there is no insecurity in Egypt? Are you telling me there is no insecurity in Morocco? Are you saying there's no insecurity in Mexico with all their drugs? But yet they still attract millions every year into their country. So insecurity should not be an excuse for us not to expand and bring our economy out of oil and gas. Nigeria, most of our revenue is coming just from one sector, oil and gas. That is not sustainable for a nation of 200 million people. Why do we have so much insecurity? We don't have jobs for our youths. Now, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. Every year, our universities turn out around 600 million new graduates every year. Where are the jobs for these people? Last year, we released about 600,000 graduates. This year, we are going to release the same amount of graduates. Do we have the job to keep pace with all of this? That is why when the hands are idle, it's very easy to fall into the hands of people that will manipulate you for their evil ends. So through global tourism, we can create millions of jobs in the area of cybersecurity, hospitality, fashion, real estate, and much more that we are leaving on the table. We are leaving so much money on the table.
So, Dr. Brightwinner, I wanted to ask you which area you feel Nigeria should truly focus on, because there is the eco-tourism, there's the cultural tourism, and then there are event tourism, you know. And last year, Lagos was all about how they made money from the event tourism. I know Dubai makes a lot of money from event tourism. They are always doing conferences, global conferences, back to back every month in Dubai. And I went to Vietnam. It was purely, I was just going to go and see mountains and waterfalls. So which area do you think that Nigeria should capitalize on to expand our current drive and help us towards achieving the goal that we have?
Thank you so much. I want to say something here. We cannot attract foreign guests with outdated ideas. We cannot attract global tourists with obsolete ideas. It's time for us to begin to think. We need to rebrand most of our festivals so that they can appeal to global tourists. We have great things in Nigeria, all across Nigeria. We have great festivals. We have our cultural heritage. We have many destinations that have fallen into disrepair. Many of them have been abandoned. They've turned into forests. So we have to understand that to attract these tourists and keep them coming, we have to be innovative in our thinking, in our ideas. Dubai is a desert nation. Dubai has one of the worst weathers in the world. Yet they turned a desert into an oasis that attracts. In 2 years ago, Dubai attracted 17 million guests. And 2 years ago, Nigeria, we had only 1.2 million guests that came into Nigeria. 1.2 compared to Dubai, 17 million.
Wow.
This nation that has great weather, rainfall, landscape, rocks, mountains. We don't have hurricanes, we don't have tornadoes, we don't have sandstorms, we don't have all this crazy weather, and yet we are not using our God-given gift to create wealth for our millions of youths. No wonder the youths are agitated. They are restless. They want to leave the country. Because why? We have abandoned what God has given us as a nation, and we are all focused on oil and gas. How many of us can walk in Dangote oil? How many of us can walk in this? We have to, it's time for Nigerians to diversify.
Dr. Bright, you really dropped the bombshell when you said that we cannot expect global audience to come to outdated ideas. But we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more about how to move from 1.2 million global visitors to increasing our number of visitors that come into Nigeria for tourism. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
The Nigerian national flag represents our country's history, culture, and identity. It was designed in 1959. The colors are Emerald Green 2.0, which represents agriculture, and Immaculate White represents unity and peace. Know how to handle our flag. Illuminate the environment, or don't fly the flag overnight. Do not fly a dirty...
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers.
Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyinbo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call permanent solutions.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crumbs of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe it's achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. I'm Adedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
I'm Nifemi Oguntoye, news anchor with TVC News.
My day is usually busy and it's difficult keeping up with breaking news stories, trending stories, business news, stock exchange and what have you. But with TVC News on WhatsApp, I'm able to catch up with all the breaking news, real-time updates and trending stories on the go, right on my phone, no matter where I am. It's quick, easy and always on. And here you can join us by scanning the QR code or using the link on our X and Instagram. Why wait? Come to the side of news that keeps you ahead. TVC News, first with breaking news.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring,
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So, Dr. Brightwinner, thank you so much for your contribution to our conversation on our show today. We obviously know that as Nigerians, we need to love Nigeria and buy Nigeria, change our mind when it comes to tourism in Nigeria. That would definitely help on our journey to global tourism because we're still far from global tourism right now. Thank you so much for joining us for the conversation. Thank you guys for, ladies rather. Thank you, ladies, for a beautiful conversation today, from talking about human trafficking to talking about global tourism. It's very far apart. But yeah, it just shows how long our journey is. But if we all put our hands on deck, we will definitely make this country better. It would happen with all of us, you know, leaders, everyone. That's what we can take on the show today. We'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Show.